For sure. But the thing that I've learned is you, as a listener, are just as responsible to understand the message, to make sure you understand the message, as the speaker is should be invested in making sure that you understand. It's really humbling to really ask questions, get clarification, ask them non-defensively. I know a lot of times I'm like, "What you say to me, huh?"
Random, I got purpose. Things coming together so beautifully. One day, it all makes sense. Just you wait and see. Take this journey with me. Purposely random. Purposely random. Purposely random. Purposely random.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl Angelise, and this is the podcast Purposely Random, a podcast by Angelise. What's up, purposeful people? Today we're going to be talking about speaking to understand and listening to understand and the importance thereof, why it's important to me, and getting into it. You feel me? All right, let's get into the theme song. Did not prepare. You know what's off the top of the dome. It's a freestyle theme song. Yay. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. All right. Yeah, I hear you talking. Do I really understand the meaning of your words? Do I hear your heart speaking through your nonverbal communication? Baby, let me be patient as I discover the message you're trying to get me to uncover. I wanna know. I want to know. So show me with your heart, with your words. I'm seeing you clearly, baby. And if I don't understand, I'll ask questions to get clarification. Yeah, 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 yeah. I wanna know, do you really wanna know what I'm trying to say too? Cause I'm trying to reach you. All right, all right, all right. That's a theme song. Now let's get into the topic at hand. All right. So speaking and listening to understand the importance thereof. I mean, really, this is something that's important to me because I really value people's words. Words of affirmation is my language of love. I keep telling y'all that. I'm like, not just talk to me, but let me understand you. Give me the patience to understand me too. I really dig you and all your honesty. You can be yourself and me. Throwback. You can be yourself and me, baby. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the theme songs from a past episode. I think it was an honesty episode. But I really want to know what's going on. What's going on with you, with those my family, with my friends. I want to see you. I want you to be able to be comfortable in a safe zone with me. I'm not always gonna like what you say. I'm not always gonna like your actions. And sometimes I might have a little bit of a judgment. I might have that stone ready to throw. Whew, I'm not a good shot though. I'm not gonna throw it. Um, I might have that, but I love you enough and I care for you enough to really hear what you're trying to say to me. Um, so yeah, words, they mean something. I'm a very intentional speaker. I speak not only through my subconscious, like my conscious, I see through my conscious, but I allow my subconscious to come up without judging it. First of all, We have to learn how to communicate without judging ourselves for the thoughts that we have, for the communication that we're making. We have to learn how to do that, right? We have to be compassionate and understand ourselves. So how can I tell you a message if I don't know what the message is? If my heart and my mind are not agreeing, I'm just gonna be talking and trying to figure it out as I go. And sometimes I'll be doing that. I ain't gonna hold you. Sometimes I'll be like, what am I trying to say? What am I really trying to say? Because I have all these emotions. I have all these emotions and all these thoughts are coming from different places. What am I really trying to say? What are these emotions trying to say to me? Because your emotions come up for a reason. Yeah, they come up for a reason, and sometimes they remind you of a past experience, and so you have to go into the subconscious and know what you're saying to yourself. So that's why I do a lot of self-work to find my voice. Your voice is already there inside of you. It's already been a built-in compass for you, but you have to do the work to really find it and to decipher. There's this movie I really have high regard for. It's called The Arrival, and Amy Adams, I think that's her name. She is one of the people that are tasked to learn this alien language, and she had to take time to understand what it is, what they were saying, and it was such a complex emotional language. I recommend that you watch it. It's great. Speaking about the past and future all at once, and you should really watch that movie. It's great. But really having to spend time with this, it's not an alien because it's already inside of you. So with this native person that is you, that is your true self, taking time to learn what they're saying. What is that complex language that you taught yourself and then you need to learn how to decipher? Take your emotions as key indicators, and then in a safe space, once you start to do what's called wise mind practices, and you feel safe to go into your subconscious without having it, not having any resources to help you if you get to a low and dark place. Once you get those things, then begin to dive deeper and deeper. Therapist is really helpful for this. Group therapy is really helpful for this. Chris Rock recently came out talking about how much he does things for his mental health. I used to go once a week to see a therapist, but I'm in a good place now where I just go bi-weekly, meaning every 2 weeks, and bi-monthly, which is every 2 weeks a month. And it's been really great. Sometimes I feel like I need more. Sometimes I feel like I need less, especially if it's been a big, really trying emotional week where sometimes I'm like having friendship breakups, I'm having a hard time at work, I'm judging myself, I'm overeating, and I'm like, oh, therapy cannot get here soon enough. But I do have some resources already in place, and I've worked really hard over the past 2, almost 3 years of going to therapy too with my therapist. And before I was selected to go with her, there was a couple of other ones. I really lucked out with my therapist. It was like she just got me, and it really helps that she's a woman of color, so we have not the same overlapping values and overlapping thinking, but we have enough in common that I feel seen and I feel heard, and I feel like I can be vulnerable in a non-judgmental and empathetic safety zone. So it's been really great to be really heard, seen, understood, and being allowed to find my voice and finding what it's like to have that. Like I said, it's very rare that we have those things, so it's nice to find that. One thing that I really appreciate about communication is someone giving you their vulnerability and sharing their words with you. It's a gift. We have to remember that. It's a gift. Not saying it's a skill set. I'm saying it's literally a gift. Someone is giving you a piece of themselves for you to carry, to hold, like a little egg, like a raw egg that you carry around and you're supposed to be delicate with. It's a gift. And it's something I don't take lightly at all, because I know how much it takes for me to be vulnerable with people and to really speak my truth and speak truth to them and share my reality with them. I know how valuable that is to me. So when someone does that with me, I really take the time. If it's someone I care about, if it's customer service at work, I'm like, okay, you want to furnace for your rebate for your furnace? Okay, I don't say it like that. I'm like, okay, sounds good. Yes, okay, sounds good. Yeah, I understand you want a rebate for your. Yeah, I'm gonna help you. I'm definitely gonna work with you. I sound so amused because I am. I ain't nobody trying to help you with your. I mean, I get paid for it, but I ain't trying to listen to all this. I got other stuff to do. All right, sorry, it's quick aside. That's a quick aside, but we're reeling it back. So when it's someone that I care about, or even just like a random stranger that's not talking to me about work stuff, I get paid to listen to, that I can choose to listen to for free. I really value it, for sure. But the thing that I've learned is you as a listener are just as responsible to understand the message, to make sure you understand the message, as the speaker should be invested in making sure that you understand. It's really humbling to really ask questions, get clarification, ask them non-defensively. I know a lot of times I'm like, "What you say to me? Huh? Wait, let me understand, because what you're saying to me is making me mad." There's this person that I truly do adore so much, but sometimes we just do not see eye to eye. And I recently addressed a situation where I was like, I keep trying to show you effort, and I'm not really met with like the effort that I display, and it's been kind of bothering me. And they were like trying to bring up one incident, and I loved what they said. They said, I'm talking about one incident, but are you talking about other situations? I was like, no, it's a behavior that I noticed. I'm talking about more than one situation. And instead of getting defensive, I felt, and maybe they did, I just didn't hear it because we're on the phone. Maybe I didn't hear it. But I loved that they took that moment to check in. And I was like, it's not a judgment, it's just a conversation. And I figure that I owe it to the both of us to express what I'm feeling, even if it's not a rational emotion, and I'm speaking out of emotion and not out of rationality. I would rather bring up what that emotion is bringing up in me and tell you my perspective, and then humbly come to you with that perspective, to get your perspective so we can have a shared perspective. I don't want to waste time being upset about something that's not real. Let's talk about what your perspective, what mine is. And then from there, if we choose to move forward in repairing that or making a shared reality, let's do that work. But it's not a judgment, it's a conversation. And we'll see where things go from there. And I felt like they were really receptive of that. But I do fear that because of the work that I'm doing to learn how to communicate more effectively, which I'm in love with effective communication, like, oh, yes, communicate with me, understand me, baby. I'm such a weirdo. I'm like, oh yeah, communicate with me, baby. All right, yeah, I like it so much. I do like it so much. Borat just came out. That's not even how you say Borat. I'm a Borat. I was that movie. Okay, scrolling it back. But I really appreciated that exchange that we had, because I felt really heard and not defensive. we did have an exchange before that where I got super defensive because of how they framed their line of questioning. But then I since I told them, hey, let's try this instead of that, because I will get very mad at you. I will get defensive, and I don't want to be defensive. I want to be cool. They basically were like, we're talking, and we were supposed to have a meeting, but then they didn't make it to that meeting because it was like a time difference thing. And I was like, hey, you said this time. They called me at an earlier time than I thought, but I didn't see it because I was preparing. We were going to do a video chat meeting, and then when I called them, they didn't answer the phone. And so I got mad because there was like a lot of like them not being available before this. And I was like, when are you going to be available? I even was like, hey, will you be there for sure about this meeting? And they're like, oh yeah, you know Billy. And then it was the whole thing. But anyway, I sent them a bad video, and I was like, this is I'm gonna do a reenactment. I need to do more acting for y'all. I'm gonna start doing low-key sketches. All right, here we go. This is the video. Hi, how are you? I'm calling you at this time because this is the time that we were supposed to meet. Okay, I understand that there was a time difference that you weren't aware of. However, I called you and now you're not available, and I'm not understanding why. I put an emphasis on this and this and this because it was important to me, and you're not showing up. I really hope nothing's wrong with you, because I would be really upset if something was wrong with you and I'm coming at you like this. But other than that, I'm not understanding. I'm going to pray that everything's okay, and I hope to hear from you soon. And that's like my mama, like disappointed mother voice. Like, listen here. I've seen this report card, and you told me that you've been studying, but the lie determinator indicated that this was a lie. Look at this report card. Is that what we do in this house? Is that who we are? Huh? Listen, I'm asking you a question. I acted like that. But that's just my like, what you're not gonna do is play with me voice. And they were like, is that your default? This made me so mad. They're like, is that your default way of handling things? And I was like, I did there's this meme of this white dude of being like, I don't know his face segment, but he's like, and I did that face and I was mad. Because I was like, excuse me? No. My default action is to seek understanding, but you are not talking to me and I can't understand. So that's the biggest thing. I'm like, talk to me. Talk to me. Work it out. Okay, I'm tired of being here all by myself. Talk to me. Love me. Say that you love me and speak to me. And give me the words, because that's how I feel loved. And when you don't speak to me, it makes me not like you and dislike you strongly. But we've done better. I said all that to say we've done better since that exchange, and I just hope to continue to grow in my communications with others, becoming a better communicator myself, seeking to understand, asking questions. There is this, I might send a link for it, but there is this study that I saw for an acronym of communicating with love: listening, offering, validating, and empathy. And we might go into that. Actually, that's probably going to be a good podcast. So we're going to get into communicating with love one day. I'm going to put it on my topics list like right now so I don't forget. So communicating in love. And yeah, it's been an awesome ride on this podcast. Just to wrap it up, we talked today about communicating and listening to understand. Asking those questions, making sure that you understand what your partner is saying or the person that's communicating with you is saying. You as the speaker, speaking things out. And I think I already talked about this. Obviously, I really love communication, so you might get a repeat, but that's okay because I got a new segment alert. 3,000 questions about me. This is where I randomly pick a question and I answer it without seeing it before and preparing. Oh, Lord. Okay, 2,164. What kind of driver are you? Okay, I don't need for this book to like make me put myself out there like this. Like, thank you for just putting me on blast, book. So the kind of driver that I am is I'm very not much gooder. I'm not a good driver. I'm not terrible. But I'm like a grandma driver, very cautious. Sometimes I be driving crazy, especially with other people in the car. Sometimes I get driving anxiety and can barely breathe. I don't like to drive. I've been telling most of the people that have tried to court me or try to date me and waste my time, I'm only trying to drive 20% of the time that we're dating and married. So there's that for you. I'm not trying to do all that driving. I do not like it. I like it when I'm by myself, but when I'm with somebody else, and I think it's because my ex didn't have a car, and then when he did have a car, my car is better than his car, so I ended up driving all the time. I'm like, heck no, techno. And plus, and you know what? A lot of these dudes don't be having cars that I be dating. I'm like, you need to be rolling down the streets with my homies. So I'm sorry, future baby, but you won't be driving. And I'm gonna close my eyes if you drive too crazy, because I'd rather ride and die than drive and die. I ain't trying to kill us. I'm trying to have you kill us. Amen. So why did I say amen to that? Girl. Okay, let's do the last segment of the podcast, which is the I Deserve Challenge, where we talk about one thing that I say to myself every day to remind myself that I am worthy, I am good, I'm smart, I'm important, and I'm beautiful, and I'm kind. Okay. This one's really just kind of random. I deserve to have a clean and organized space. So you might not know about this about me, but I love to organize. Like, it gives me life. Okay, I'm like, what? This place? Everything has a place? Maybe that's the control freak in me. But organizing, it just feels so good. And having a clean space, you know, having the sun and the light reflect off of things, it just feels so much good. It feels so much gooder. It feels so it feels so much better to have a clean space, to have an organized space. And when my space is clean, I find that my thoughts are more organized and my energy is more organized and I feel more refreshed. And so I deserve to have a clean and organized space. So here's your homework, here's your day work, whatever you want to call it. In the comments below, after you like and you share the video, you're going to put down in the comments below 2 things you deserve to have in your life. And I want you to start letting me know if you started to say it to yourself every day and see the changes in your mentality and in your energy around you and your family. Speaking of energy is so important when you're sending your messages to people, when you're communicating with people. So be very aware of the energy that you put out into the world. And as always, be real, be you. Do what you came here to do. Do what you came here to do. And be the light that you want to see. Peace.